Welcome to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast, where the sun's always shining and the stories are even brighter. Each episode, we bring you closer to the neighbors, local legends, and beachside businesses that make Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. Pull up a beach chair, grab a drink, and let's meet the people who make this island feel like home. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, and Home Well Services Fort Myers. They are the businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Schaller.
Welcome, Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbors. We're all about no shade, just sunshine, drama-free, positive vibes. That's what it's all about. And today we've got good neighbor Jason Thomas from Badass Coffee. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to get to know people on the island here and then share their stories with our listeners. So without further ado, obviously you're in the coffee business.
I am.
Share a little bit about Badass Coffee.
So Badass Coffee originated on the Big Island of Hawaii in 1989. It was kind of a mom and pop shop and became very popular and caught some attention of some bigger wigs that said, hey, we'd like to make this a bigger thing. And that's exactly what they did. So we have grown since then. Our franchisee, the franchise is actually operated out of Denver, Colorado by a Royal Aloha company. There is approximately 37 Badass Coffees nationwide.
Wow.
They range anywhere from Colorado, California, Tennessee, Florida. We got them all over the place, but my concentration right now is South Florida.
Nice. So why Fort Myers Beach?
Fort Myers Beach seemed like the perfect location for our operation, and it seemed like the perfect time to get involved with the community. Myself and our investor team was really looking around at all the different locations of where we could plant a flag and really do some good things and some fun things. And the opportunity with Santini Plaza being what it is, and its history within Fort Myers Beach, the return of Fort Myers Beach being back to hopefully what it was and maybe something even more, seemed like something we really wanted to be part of.
Absolutely. So are you from Southwest Florida originally or no?
No, actually, my wife and I we relocated down here a little over 2 years ago from Chicago.
Okay.
We had both considered living in Florida for a long time, and we couldn't really come up with an idea of where it was that we wanted to land. And we packed up our car and got a dog sitter to watch our dogs and said, we'll be back soon. And we took off on an 18-day road trip that started at Virginia Beach, Virginia, and we drove all the way down the Atlantic seaboard till we got to Key West, turned around, came up the western side of Florida, back through Georgia, and finally got back to Chicago. And we sat down and we said, I was expecting a big battle. There was a lot of nice places around there, and we both kind of looked at each other and I said, yeah, Southwest Florida. Yeah, no, it was over. There was no debate. There was no discussion. We currently reside in Naples and have barely looked back. I'm actually going back to Chicago this weekend for some family things. And some of my friends are like, well, you're coming back to stay? I said, not Europe. I said, you guys just don't understand what the life is down here in Southwest Florida and how beautiful it is and amazing, how much fun we're having. We've got 2 stores right now, one in Naples and the one in Fort Myers Beach. And I couldn't be happier.
Absolutely. I'm from that Midwest as well. So Wisconsin, Illinois, same story. But I moved down here in 89, back when Badass Coffee started, I guess. So I've been down here for quite a while, seen a lot of changes, and you picked the right spot because there's a lot of Midwestern people on this side of Florida and this little Southwest Florida hub down here. So a lot of friendly people, which is makes the living here extra nice as well too. So
Absolutely. I knew I was in a good spot when I was driving down Estero Boulevard and I saw somebody flying the W, which if you're a Cubs fan, you know what that means.
Right, right, exactly. I won't talk about it. I was born in Wisconsin, so I'm a Brewers fan. So a little rivalry there right now, especially now with us battling out for the best record in baseball. But hey, we'll take it because we're not supposed to be there. So we'll enjoy it while it
Exactly.
lasts. So running a business at the beach, kind of sounds like a dream job, right? But we all deal with storms. What's been your biggest challenge so far? Maybe your proudest moment?
The biggest challenge, there hasn't been so much of challenges as just opportunities. In Chicago for the last 40 years, I was in hospitality.
Okay.
I've been everything from a busboy to the general manager of a fine dining white tablecloth steakhouse, dishwasher to executive chef of a private club on Michigan Avenue downtown. So, I mean, it's almost a Hemingway writing itself story of let's run away to the tropics and open up a coffee shop and just kind of kick back and enjoy ourselves. And, coming down, and yes, the storms are definitely something to worry about, but wherever I seem to end up, there's always going to be a challenge. In Chicago, we had the winters. In Florida, we have the storms.
Yeah.
It's a fact of life, and we measure our way through it, and we try to prepare for it the best we can, and pray that it doesn't hit us.
And as long as we stick together as a community and help each other and work with each other, that's the important part of who we surround ourselves with.
Absolutely. And, that was part of the thing about coming down to Fort Myers Beach and not being certainly not a native, but not really a local per se, is that I wanted to make sure that we got involved with the community as best we could. So one of the first things we did was join the Chamber of Commerce. Their outreach has been a tremendous help. We really appreciated everything that they've helped us along with. We want to make sure that even though Badass is a franchise store, I don't want it to be a drop off and run kind of place. We want this to be the Badass of Fort Myers Beach. It means more to us to be part of the community than it does just to be another business in another location. We have the opportunity of opening a lot more stores, but that being said, each store, I really want to concentrate on making sure that we're part of the community, and Fort Myers Beach is definitely something that we're trying to get involved with.
And I love that. It's all about, immersing yourself in the community and giving back to the community and supporting the community, because they're the ones that ultimately support you as a business as well. So I love that relationship.
It's really lent itself very nicely, being in Santini Plaza and being able to talk with the people in the area. We're kind of the last stop on the south end of the island right now. And I want to make sure that we're reaching out to the people that are here year round, or the people who own the homes that are here, that, they recognize that, sure, of course, we're looking for some of the tourist trade, but at the end of the day, we're more about being Fort Myers Beach friendly and part of it. Not this weekend, but next weekend, we're having a formal grand opening. And we've decided that part of our giving back to the community is that we've chosen a local charity, and that is FMB Strong, to get a portion of our proceeds from our grand opening celebration. So again, it's what we can do to participate in the town, not just be another stop on the road. Let's see what we can do to really dive in and be part of it.
I love it. I love it. See, good Midwestern people, right? That's what it's all about. So outside of work, this could be very demanding. It sounds like 2 coffee shops and kind of semi-retired. I mean, for big jobs, but it's still a full-time job. What do you do outside of work when you get a moment?
Outside of work, I have a beautiful wife that I like to spend a lot of time with. We had two white rescue pit bulls. Unfortunately, we lost one of them in the last couple of weeks. He had run a good life. So I spent a lot of time with my dogs. I'm looking forward to getting back into golf. I had a shoulder injury for a while and a back injury. And I don't know if you know anything about being a chef, but it's not real good on the knees either. So I've
Right.
been trying to recoup my physical condition a little bit to get back out on the golf course. Messing around town. I recently bought a Jeep Wrangler so that I could actually be part of the beach life. And
Nice.
as soon as the summer heat breaks down, I also have a motorcycle that I like to tool around on.
Well, there
So
you go.
you'll see me around town. If you come by the store, you'll also see we've got a 1973 Volkswagen Samba van parked out in front. So you might see me tooling around the beach on that as well.
Very good. It's all about being outdoors, right? We don't have to shovel snow. We don't have to worry about the cold weather getting to our bones and aching and everything. It's get outside and enjoy yourself, right?
Exactly. I was joking around with my wife this morning. I said, I'm going to be up in Chicago on Thursday. I said, have you seen the weather? It's going to be like 70. Where's my puffer coat? My blood's already thin after only a little over 2 years.
Mine's definitely thin for sure. I go up there, I take a sweatshirt and summer and pants, and people are like looking at me like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "I'm from Florida. This is cold."
That's it. I'm embracing it 100%. I'm leaning into it as I go back up there. It's like,
There you go. So, are there certain things trending within the coffee industry that we can share with our listeners?
The coffee industry has actually taken a really neat jump over the last several years, but it's still on that turn with the way young people look at their own health and how they handle themselves. In a lot of places, coffee shops have taken over for some of the night spots. So instead of going clubbing, people end up at coffee shops for first dates. It's really kind of an interesting turn of events. When I was in my 20s, a coffee shop was not on my list of places to be unless it was very early in the morning from a very late night. And now I'm finding it to be a really, a fun, popular spot for the 20-somethings and it's even the teenagers. And, with our spot, we are very much a beach theme. It has a Hawaii vibe, but nonetheless, we're pushing for it to be just beach themed because I want it to be Fort Myers Beach. So there's lots of T-shirts and hats and fun music, and we're looking to do different events that will help bring people in. Just for kicks, we put a cornhole game out front just to pass the time while you're sipping your coffees. But it's more than just a spot to grab a cup of joe and run out the door.
It's become a social experience now.
It really has. It's a destination of a place to go and enjoy, whether it be a coffee, whether it be a coffee cooler or an energy drink or a bite to eat. We've got sandwiches, we've got pastries. But it's more than, we don't have a drive-through, and that's intentional. We want people to be able to come in, sit down, hang out in the cafe for a while, meet their friends. I got a line of Adirondack chairs outside so you can sit outside and,
I've seen people sitting out there already. I love it.
Yeah,
so,
you almost see the beach. You can certainly smell it on the right day.
Yes, and we love that. So as a first-time visitor coming there, what is something somebody should try?
Well, it depends on your likes. Our Kona coffee, which is our kind of our feature item, which is all brought in from the Kona part of the Big Island of Hawaii, which, if you're not familiar with, I kind of put it up there with, say, the Napa Valley of California for wines. It's one of the best growing regions for coffee in the world. And it's certainly something to experience. We've got several different things that you could try on the menu. The coffee cooler is fun if you're looking for something. If you're hot, there's a bunch of different frozen drinks that we serve up. But again, when I lean into it, it's for the Kona coffee.
That's it. That's what it's all about. So how do our listeners go about contacting you if they wanted to come by, grab a cup of coffee, or just learn a little bit more?
So we're located 7205 Estero Boulevard. We're at the very south end of the Santini Plaza. Again, if you have any trouble finding us, because we're still waiting on our sign to be installed, do have this bright teal bus parked right out front. We're working with the community, and hopefully soon we'll be able to unveil a mural that we're going to paint on the south side of the wall outside. Its feature behind it is mostly like the 60s and 50s postcard style of Fort Myers Beach emblem on it. Again, because we want to make it Fort Myers Beach centric, we're including the clock tower, and we hope to have some shrimp boats out on the horizon.
Nice.
A little tiki hut and just some, Instagrammable moments to be out front. You can look us up. We don't have a website as of our own. We have the corporate website, which is Badass Coffee of Hawaii. Hopefully we will be able to get some social media coming up in the near future. But best bet is just to come on down by the store, and we're there from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 7 days a week.
Perfect. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. Any last words for our listeners?
I just want to say thank you for the wonderful first couple of weeks that we've had. We've had an incredible turnout, and the people could not have been nicer, and we're having so much fun just being part of the beach and getting to meet our neighbors. And, we just look forward to a very long and healthy relationship with the community.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for being such a good neighbor. And we'll see you at the beach or maybe the coffee shop soon, right?
Absolutely. Again, thank you so much for having us on your program.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast, where community meets paradise. If you loved what you heard, share it with a friend and keep the good vibes going. Until next time, stay sunny, stay salty, and keep being a good neighbor. Also, to nominate your favorite neighbors, local legends, heroes, or island businesses to be on the show, go to CaboWaboGym.com, that's CaboWaboGym.com, or call 239-427-4100. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, and Home Welfare Services Fort Myers. They are the businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love.